Hello and welcome to the third episode of the second season, the Gem City Gridiron Roundup podcast. I am your host, as always, Dalton Van Pelt. And this season, the co-host, the commissioner, the one and only, Zachary Stewart.
Yep, I'm back, baby.
All right, Zach, order of operations. We don't have a guest this week. We had one scheduled. They had to cancel. No worries. We're going to drive this show, just the two of us.
Yes.
And I noticed you have just recently changed your name to Commish.
I did. I did.
On the Zoom chat.
You should change yours to deputy.
No, we're going with that.
Oh, Scotch. There you go.
Scotch. Which is on the menu. We got some Brooklotti, heavily peated pork charlotte.
Nice. Just some simple buffalo trace tonight.
All right. Order of operations. We'll touch on the news and notes from around the league based on the actual football games. We'll take a look at the matchups that were, the matchups that follow. And then Zach and I will do a quick little discussion point on something I thought might be fun. So, Zach, would you like to fire us up with your news and notes from around the league?
Well, the biggest thing is all the injuries. We've talked about I'm calling an injury Armageddon. I've heard it called that a few other places. I've seen injuries, but just the injuries to so many star players is going to leave a lot of people scrambling this week and the weeks to come, especially if you have multiple players.
Yeah, we got Run CMC, probably going to be out for about a month.
Yep.
Got Saquon down for the season. What else am I forgetting?
Raheem Mostert, he's out for probably a couple of games. Cam Akers got hurt. Those ones are a little bit more minor. Cortland Sutton, he was coming back from a shoulder injury and then ends up blowing his knee. What else? It's a couple of big defensive players, both on the 49ers, D-line, Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa. So that hurts their front seven. Just a lot of guys.
Yeah, lots of knee injuries.
Yeah.
I saw that the 49ers were complaining about the field surface at MetLife Stadium. However, all the other teams said, no, you guys are just bitches.
Well, they have to play there this week again. That's why.
Yep, back-to-back games.
Which there's people there. Shanahan's talking about they might not play some of those guys that are already a little questionable, like Garoppolo and Mostert and even Kittle. I mean, they're going to hold some guys out, I think, especially if they're already a little questionable.
Yeah, who cares? It's just the Jets.
You can play Jordan Reed then.
Yeah, your boy Jordan Reed.
Uncle Jordan.
Yeah, your boy Jordan. He went off. Remember the mid-2000s where you were all about those Washington football teamers.
I actually played Jordan Reed in a Vegas league.
I bet that felt great.
Oh, it did. Well, I had George Kittle, so I had to do something.
Somebody sign Alfred Morris just so this man can feel right.
Exactly. I love me some Alfred Morris.
All right, Zach. What did you think about the games? Which games did you watch? You were in the Fishbowl?
I was in the Fishbowl of football this weekend.
For those of you who don't know, the Fishbowl of football is the Wyoming Center in Sheridan Center in Sheridan, Wyoming.
Yep.
There is a bar and grill inside there that has the Sunday ticket, and they have about 15 TVs in there. I have dubbed it the Fishbowl of football.
Yeah, it was great. I watched a lot of. I was only there for the morning games, but that's when the majority of the games are on.
Sarah likes to call that the times when she can get shit done when you're not at the house.
So, yeah, I watched a lot of games. Obviously, I was attentive on the Steelers game. Wanted to watch them. I didn't get to watch them week one, so it was good to watch Ben be back and Juju healthy and Connor healthy. So that was great to watch them play.
I watched the Steeler-Broncos game until Drew Lock was out, and then I turned it off.
Yeah.
So,
Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll. Pride of what? Did he go to Florida?
He did go to Florida.
Wow, look at that. Right there in the cranium. I had
Yeah.
it stored away. Jeff Driscoll, Florida University.
Yeah.
So in the morning, I watched Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and I must say, we're going to have to say some prayers for those having to play the Packers this year.
Yeah, and they were just good. I mean, and the thing was, in the fishbowl of football, there was so many Packers fans. It was so annoying. They turned like almost every game to the Packers, and then everyone started complaining. Like someone turned the game that I was watching, the only game the Steelers game was on, they turned it to the Packers, and I'm like, no, turn it back. Like I'm watching the game. So like there were so many Packers fans in there, and I'm like, guys, you're up 21. It's the fourth quarter. You don't need to watch the rest of the game.
Hey, get out of here, cheese
Get out
heads.
of here.
And you want to watch the 21-0 game, then go home. God damn. One of those moments. I watched a lot of that game. Early on, the Lions' offense looked great.
Yeah, they looked good, and they cooled off. But that man, Aaron Jones, whew,
Yeah,
they have some Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. That's two of the best skill players in the league. And you pair him with Aaron Rodgers, who's on a mission. It'd be dangerous.
In no time, the Lions went from fun to watch in the first couple drives they had to the most boring team in football as per usual.
I think that'll change a little bit once they get Galladay back. Hopefully he gets back this week. That'll help Stafford out. That'll help those other receivers and running backs out. Hoping to see him get back on the field this week.
Absolutely. So for those Packers fans, that game was so boring that it ended so quickly that we had time for Fox to switch over to Cowboys-Falcons.
Oh, my God.
And I got to see, how about them Cowboys? They're calling it the watermelon kick from Greg Zuerlein. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It looked like the watermelon spinning down the concrete.
I feel like the Falcons special teamers didn't know they could touch the ball before 10 yards. Like I was sitting there watching it,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, grab the ball.
They didn't know what they were doing.
No, the Falcons never know what they're doing.
Is it still Fossil, the special teams coach there?
In Dallas?
Matt, who's the special teams coach in Atlanta?
No, Fossil's with the Cowboys.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because he was the Rams special teamer, I thought.
Oh, that's right.
And that's why they got Zuerlein.
Former Rams head coach, I believe. No, 49ers.
No idea.
Oh, fact. Matthew, who's the Atlanta Falcons special teams coach? Go ahead and put that in the comments of this video when it posts. I know you're going to know.
He's probably
I don't feel like
fired.
he's in Google. What's that?
He's probably fired.
Could be. Yeah,
Could be.
It was obvious the Falcons lost their minds.
Yeah.
All of those.
Great game, though. I mean, for fantasy purposes,
Zach, 3 TDs on the ground. Zeke owners have to be all mad, but Zeke still had a bunch of points.
Yeah, Zeke could have had a 50-burger if they just handed it off. But you know who also looked really good in that game was CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, 6 catches, 106 yards. Dalton Schultz had 100 yards receiving on the day.
Yeah,
Amari Cooper had a bunch of catches.
Yeah, looked good.
You know who else looked good? Noah Fant. Calvin Ridley also looked good. Noah Fant.
Yes.
He's the real deal, man.
He is. Second-year leap out of the tight end.
Yeah, that Noah Fant guy, I like that guy. He's a real deal, man. He's a real deal, man. All right, so that was the morning games. It was kind of chalk across the board. Minus that Falcons-Cowboys game, it was chalk.
I actually really enjoyed to see, I think the Jaguars are going to be better than people realize. They took the Titans down to the last drive of the game.
If I'm the Jaguars, I hope that I can face Phillip Rivers and the Colts every week.
Yeah, but I mean, the Jaguars don't look bad. I mean, Minshew's doing Minshew things and spreading the ball around. Running back's okay. Defense is okay. I mean, they're going to be –
everybody okay.
Yeah, they're playing okay, but I mean, they're people thought they'd be horrendous.
Minus the turnovers for Minshew, they might have actually won that game.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the highlights, I'll be honest. Now, here's the problem with non-fishbowl is that I got to go off of whatever games that YouTube TV decides to play for me. And if I do some further research, it's highlights. I unfortunately was ill-prepared as per usual. Work has been nuts. Anyway, let's move on to the afternoon games. Zach, which afternoon games did you watch, or were you doing honeydews?
I'm trying to think which game I watched.
All right, while you're thinking, I'll go ahead and give my notes from the afternoon games. So I turn on the afternoon games, San Diego Chargers versus the Super Bowl champs, and I see Justin Herbert, 6'8" giant from Oregon, playing. And I'm wondering, what the hell? So I check Roto World. It says Tyrod Taylor apparently has a late chest injury, which worsened during warm-ups. So they approached the 6'8" giant Justin Herbert and said, hey, pick up that rock and sling it. Throws for 300 yards. And my thoughts on Tyrod Taylor's injury, as it didn't offer any specifications, were it's just a lack of heart. He's just a career backup, didn't have any heart.
Tyrod Taylor, I mean...
Man, you weren't paying attention to a word I just said.
I was looking at the game. But that was the game I was thinking of.
Herbert looked good. 300-plus yards. Tyrod Taylor, lack of heart. Couldn't make the start.
He went to the hospital. Yeah,
lack of heart.
No, that Chargers team looked pretty good. They were running the piss out of the ball.
Dude, their defense was stopping everything.
Until the last minute when you give the ball to Patrick Mahomes to go kick a field goal.
That ending sequence was really fun to watch.
I know. Butker
hits from 58 yards.
Well, he made it from 57, and then the false start, and then he had to kick a 58. He was irate, and then they called a timeout, and then he drilled the 53, and then he drilled the 58, and then he blasted the next 58, and it was good by a mile. I mean, dude's good.
Oh, and looking back at Atlanta, based on their recent history, jumping back to the Atlanta Cowboys game, I almost think they should be innovative and hire a separate offensive coordinator for when they're ahead. So they have one offensive coordinator who's hyper aggressive, get us the lead, and then they say, all right, you go sit in the locker room. We got our other boy out here who's going to be conservative as hell.
But their defense is pretty bad. I mean,
that's true.
They're going to be in a lot of shootouts, but what that says more about like that Falcons game is how bad the Cowboys defense is. They got torched. And if that's the case, they're going to be in 30-point shootouts every week.
Yeah, which is fine because Dak can handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're definitely on pace for 8-8 again.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Uh-huh.
The way the Cowboys defense looks, and we're on pace for 8-8 again.
That's the standard, the NFC least.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Zach, did you have any other notes? Sunday Night Football was
great
Seahawks and Patriots. It was a great game. I didn't tune into a lot of it. I had some other things going on in my life. And Monday night was the Saints and Raiders, and all I know about that game is that Alvin Kamara went off.
Yeah. But going back to the Sunday night game, Cam versus Russ was fire. That was good.
I watched about 6 possessions of that game, and it was very good.
The entire game, and it was back and forth. Russ was throwing the ball over the yard. When DK Metcalf manhandled Stephon Gilmore for that catch, I was like, that dude's for real. He is
man on a mission.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then Cam fighting his way back. Cam's gonna lead that team in rushing touchdowns by far.
Oh yeah,
and even rushing yards probably. I mean, they're giving him the ball, and he's still throwing it. He threw for 400 yards. I mean, Cam's good.
He's doing great. He's doing great.
Yep.
I don't think the Patriots are talented enough to win it all this year.
No.
But did I call the Seahawks making it to the Super Bowl on our first episode?
I think so. I also said the entire NFC West was going to make the playoffs, so I'm
You
looking good
did.
right now.
You are looking pretty great, especially with the way Kyler has looked.
Yes.
I made a joke when we talked on the phone on Sunday afternoon, and I had said I'm probably gonna do some other things during the afternoon because no one cares about the Cardinals. However, about halftime, I had wished that the Cardinals were on my television.
Yeah. Kyler's looking good.
Oh yeah, yep.
I got to say,
They're unleashing him in their running game.
yeah. Yeah.
So I guess Zach, let's jump to the fantasy matchups of the week.
Yeah, let's do it.
Start with me versus your brother, Lucas Stewart, who goes to 2-0 as I drop to 0-2. Hopefully, I turn into the Giants of their Super Bowl years. Otherwise, this is a pretty rough start for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You had a good week. I mean, almost 168, second highest scoring team of the, or third highest scoring team of the week.
Hey, you nailed your prediction last week when you said this was going to be the highest scoring game of the week.
Oh yeah, it was
by far.
On the Monday night, it just didn't work in your favor. They fed Kamara more than they fed Josh Jacobs.
Michael Thomas's injury kind of fucked me.
Yeah, it force fed Kamara the ball a lot more. But the way the Jacobs was used the week prior, I knew it was going to be a tough matchup. But I mean, I figured they'd give him the ball a little bit more. But they were leading, so I don't know what they targeted Waller a bunch last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah. This was so I kind of was watching some of that game last night, and it looked like Jacobs was not all that productive on the ground.
Yeah.
And they were in the lead, so they kind of were just looking for the hot hand.
Yeah.
That's what would happen there. Jacobs wasn't getting it done on the ground, so they were just putting in whoever could get it done.
Well, in the next game we had Cole was the second highest scoring team this week. Just outscored you 168-24, and he beat Pat 131-18. Cole had a little bit of a runaway, had a lot of guys go off. A little bummer for Pat. He's got the injury bug to start the year. Mostert, Barkley, Cam Akers. He's got the injury bug. Galladay, Godwin. He's got the injury bug early. Got a good team. Going to see how he bounces back.
And yet Pat has the giant pickup off of week one. He drank the Kool-Aid. He got Robinson from the Jaguars. James Robinson scores 21 points. He's now the 14th ranked running back in the NFL in terms of fantasy points. That's pretty wild.
Yep. So he does still have some depth at running back. He still has Hunt, and he still has and James Robinson, like you said. So he's going to have two starting running backs going forward. He's just got to piece together. He's got two good tight ends, Noah Fant and Mike Gesicki. So he's going to probably start rolling those guys out, and just going to once he gets Galloway and Godwin back, like he's still going to have a good team if he can hold it together for when Mostert gets back and Cam Akers. I mean, he's still going to be okay. It's definitely a shot when you lose Barkley.
Yep. Pat, as we pointed out, entering the year was the most deep roster based on our feelings. However, he is sitting in the same place I am, which is in an 0-2 hole. So the future is bright.
While Cole and Luke both start 2-0.
Shocking.
All right, here's a matchup I was looking forward to. The Brink Bowl. Dark Horse versus the Brink 04. Dark Horse pulls off the win, 112 to 95-88. Stewart was banking on those Saints and did not come through. Drew Brees, 14.5. Emmanuel Sanders, not even 3 points. Jared Cook doesn't break double digits. Dark Horse able to hold on.
Dark Horse did this with a 0 out of one of his wide receivers.
He got a 0 out of Will Fuller.
That's insane.
Uh-huh. And, I mean, I think this was the lowest scoring game of the week for total points.
Strong defenses.
But I mean, they got it done. Led the way for Dark Horse, Matt Ryan and Zeke. Those two, and then along with Russell Gage, that puts up 70% of his points. Brinkman's got a little bit injury bug. lost Lindsey, Michael Thomas. So he had to play, all day Adrian Peterson. So and Mark Andrews had a bad day. I mean, those come and go. It's only week 2, but again, Dark Horse is 2-0 now. He won 2 games all of last year, so congrats to
Matched his win total.
And Stuart Brinkman also dug himself a hole, 0-2.
Moving on to the haves and the have-nots, we have another 2-0 to 0-2 matchup, that being Heath Speed Kills, as we know him, this year Jake from State Farm. Taking on Drew, knocks Drew down to 0-2. Drew puts up another solid performance thanks to Josh Allen, who's playing out of his goddamn mind. However, Miles Sanders and Darren Waller come through with the giant games, outlasting the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen stack. Rob Gronkowski with the giant goose egg.
Heath also had Russ cooking for almost 34 points, 5 touchdowns. So you got a couple big point getters this week.
Absolutely. Now am I just too sheltered or uneducated or uncultured? But what the hell? Where did this Russ Cook thing start?
I don't know, man. Like,
damn it.
It was something about, like, they were talking about, like, they're so conservative and they run the ball too much. And then I'm pretty sure someone just, like, a reporter's like, someone's got to let Russ cook. And then one of the reporters asked Pete Carroll about it. Like, are you going to let Russ cook? He's like, maybe. We'll see what happens. And, man, Russ is cooking. He's
cooking, and he's booking some pretty great seats right now. If only there were fans in them.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the Cody Bowl. Blaster versus Jubal. Jubal gets the win despite the Christian McCaffrey injury. Had a big game from Tyreek Hill. That's what you like to see out of that Chiefs offense. For the most part, it was just a solid matchup. Looks like Blaster was stuck in some bad starts looking at Nyheim Hines. Somehow, with 45.6 off of Aaron Jones, he was not able to pull away with the dub. No one Jubal leaves Fournette and Montgomery on his bench, both scoring over 20 points from the running back position. He will probably look to mix them in depending on matchups next week.
As well as James Conner, he had 3 running backs score 20 points on his bench. So that's good for him, even though he's got McCaffrey. He's got some depth. And then same thing with I was watching this matchup closely. Cam Newton got him over the top. That last couple drives, Cam, he got him over the top there.
Yeah, that was the decided difference right there. It looks like he was down by quite a bit going into Monday night.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, and I'll let you break down your matchup versus Thundertaker, our last week's guest, Christopher Lean.
Yeah, so we got another 2-0-0-2 matchup.
The haves and the have-nots, my friend.
Haves and the have-nots.
You know what that means, though, before you break down this game? You know what that means? It means the season is still wide open, folks. Yeah. Do not be discouraged by your 0-2 start. If this many teams are 2-0, 0-2, that means the season is wide open.
Yes, sir. So I was able to get by the win, 152-124. Still a relatively close game. He had some injuries, obviously, and Le'Veon Bell go down, and he was forced into playing some other guys. He did not get a great start on Thursday night. A.J. Green and Joe Mixon did not get him going where they needed to go. I put up a solid week. Nothing else to it. Higbee and Deontay Johnson, my 2 big guys this week. I was pretty bummed I left Jonnu Smith on the bench, who had 24 points, and then Tyler Higbee also scored 28 points. So I wasn't too upset about it. And then Deontay Johnson, I was watching that Steelers game, and, man, he's leading the team in targets, air yards, and pepper in him. So it's good news for me. Hopefully they can keep that up, and that just keeps going on to, I love, like, with Pittsburgh, and we've talked about this, like, the receivers that they draft and develop, it's just, they're so fun to watch. I mean, when it was, Santonio Holmes, and then Antonio Brown, and then Juju Smith-Schuster, and then now you got these guys, and you got Deontay Johnson, James Washington's been doing well, and that rookie Chase Claypool burned that guy for an 85-yard touchdown.
That's insane. Do you
electric.
know how slow he looked in college?
He
Claypool.
was like 245 pounds.
That's true. He dropped a bunch of weight. Looks
But
like the big discrepancies in this matchup were your 28 points from Higbee and your 14 from the Buccaneers defense. That seems to be the difference in terms of the direct side-by-side comparison.
yep, he had a solid matchup. I mean, he got good points from Tannehill and McLaurin. Running backs, just kind of solid for him this week. Nothing crazy, but he'll be fine. He doesn't have it like the only. Yeah, Bell's on short-term IR. Paris Campbell's out. That's going to hurt him. Lose a receiver. So he'll bounce back again. 2-0, 0-2. A lot of season left.
It looks like you benched DK Metcalf. Walk us through that decision-making process.
Yeah, so I feel like I have a pretty good depth at wide receiver, so I can make some of these choices. I went Odell Beckham. I was talking to you about it. I was watching Thursday Night Football, and Baker had this look on his face like he was going to go off. And so I moved Beckham into my lineup on Thursday night, and I figured I'd make the decision later whether I was going to go Deontay Johnson or DK Metcalf. A little scared of the matchup with New England because obviously they have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Stephon Gilmore. Wasn't going to chance it. I liked the matchup that Deontay had. Who was it last week? Denver got burned by Corey Davis last week. So I was like, I'll roll with Deontay Johnson. I feel comfortable with him. He led the team in targets the week before. So I was able to go that way. I know I left DK on the bench, 19 points, but Deontay still outscored him. So made the right choice there.
It looks like you ran out of roster spots a little bit.
I did. And I think that's what comes with a little bit of depth. I mean, I feel like I have some of the best depth at wide receiver, at least.
Listen, I think this is a different Stephon Gilmore we're seeing this year in terms of just the pieces around him, or this team just isn't quite as special. I don't know what it is, but Stephon Gilmore, I don't think you have to be afraid of his shutdown potential quite as much this year. That's back-to-back weeks where the number one wide receiver has not been completely shut down.
And exactly with like I said earlier in the podcast, like when DK beat him and outmanned him, and Russ threw that ball into the stratosphere and it came down and he shrugged off.
Get off of me.
Like Stephon Gilmore's not a small dude. I mean, like he just like fell off of DK Metcalf and like he's solid. So
you know what game I'm really excited to watch coming up this year? We're going to see it twice. With the tear this man has been on, I want to see Stephon Diggs versus Stephon Gilmore. I am so excited to watch that game.
That'll be good.
Oh man, I might even send a separate podcast just breaking down every single one of those routes.
All right, so after 2 weeks,
hold on.
What?
Tease this. I think right now would be a perfect time for a break.
All right, let's do it.
At this point, we're going to take a fluid break, and we'll be right back, folks. Enjoy this tune. All right, we are back. Zach, before we get started, as always, we got to do a sip. All right. Funny enough, this entire podcast up until the break, I had my microphone face the wrong direction. So the audio quality up until this point probably wasn't the best, but I'm pretty loud, so hopefully it turned out okay.
Yeah.
We'll find out on post. When I post it, then we'll know.
Yep, because we're not redoing it.
Hell no.
Nope.
This is fucking gold. I'm not redoing it. All right, Zach, before I rudely cut you off and told you to tease it, what discussion were you about to have?
I was just going to do the breakdown of how things are looking by division. So in the Corona division, we have 2-0 teams. We have Heath and Dark Horse. Then we have followed by 2 1-1 teams. We have Jubal Sackett and Blaster. And then we have the 2 0-2 teams, Drew and Brinkman, sitting at the bottom of the Corona division.
Those two 2-0 teams are separated by 0.16 points.
Yes, very
That's
close.
insane.
And then in the COVID division, we have Luke in front of the 2-0 teams. So we have Luke myself, and Cole, all 2-0, all relatively close scoring, all less than a 9-point difference from those three teams. And then we have the 3 0-2 teams, Dalton, Patrick, and Thundertaker. But the overall, if the playoffs were to start today, the 1 through 8 would be Luke, myself, Cole, Heath, and Dark Horse, 5 2-0 teams. And then 2 1-1 teams of Jubal and Blaster. And the 8th seed, the most points of the 0-2 teams, goes to Scotch on the sidelines.
If you look, the top 4 teams in our division are outscoring every team in the other division.
Yes.
I have 302 points, 0-2, which is 40 more points than the number 1 seed in the opposite division.
So it looks like you haven't quite had the toughest schedule. That belongs to Pat by a few margins. But again, it's only 2 weeks. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
You start 0-3, then you start worrying.
Then your butthole starts puckering. And speaking of 0-2 versus 0-2 matchup, which might lead to an 0-3, this week I am taking on my good friend Christopher Lean. Early projections has me taking this one by 11 points, 137 to 126. It looks like.
So we will have for sure an 0-3 team, and we will for sure have a 3-0 team. That will be either myself or Cole. Early projections have me with the narrowest of margins, 147.1 to 138.39. Going to be a very tight matchup between Cole and myself. He's got some guys going off right now, especially with Kyler Murray.
Moving on to 2 original Gem City Gridiron members, we have Heath, 2-0, facing off against Blaster McGee. Cody Englert, 1-1. Early projections has Heath taking this one 129 to 125 with a huge performance from Russell Wilson, projected 22 points, as well as Darren Waller projected with 14.
All right, then we got a matchup between One Hit Wonders and Drew versus Brinkman. Early projections has Drew in the driver's seat of that one. So there will be at least 0-3 teams after this week concludes. It has early projections Drew 129 or 127.39 to Brinkman's 119.32. I bet Brinkman is hoping Michael Thomas is back in his lineup this week.
Absolutely. No guarantees in that regard. Next, we got Garrett, Dark Horse, Brinkman taking on 2 times Cody Jubal. Sackett, early projections has Dark Horse moving on to 3-0, knocking Jubal down to 1-2, 126 to 120.
Yes.
Adam Thielen's got a tough matchup against Tennessee. Maybe Will Fuller will catch 1 pass. Maybe. Russell Gage has a tough matchup as well. Let's see. Tyreek Hill going up against Baltimore. That's always tough. Fournette going up against Denver. He should go off this week. Go off.
Sackett does have to figure out his tight end situation. His tight ends are not very good right now at this point in the game. Austin Hooper, I think he'll get going.
With the amount of good tight ends there are this year, it's substantial. There are so many good tight ends. And Sackett just happened to whiff on both of his.
Well, Jack Doyle's good. He's just hurt. So I mean, he's got a little injury bug. So
give me any other quarterback besides Phil Rivers right now.
What about Mitchell?
For real, give me Mitchell over Phillip right now.
Ooh,
that's a hot take.
That's
a hot take. Give me Mitch Trubisky. Flip those quarterback situations, and the records would still be the same.
All right, and into the final matchup of this week, we have Monsters and Freight Trains, Luke Stewart versus the Filthy Casual and Patrick. Early projections has moving Luke up to 3-0 and Pat to 0-3 at 136.25 to 118.4. Again, Pat is waiting to get some of those guys back. It looks like Galladay and Chris Godwin are going to be back on the field. He's going to have those 2 stud tight ends. Looks like Sterling Shepard's going to be out. He'll have a lot of time with Darius Slayton. He's got the 2 running backs inserted in there. Would not surprise me if he ends up taking this.
Absolutely not. Now, Zach, what's our Thursday night matchup?
It is Minshew Mania versus Fitzmagic.
Ooh.
And speaking of that, Patrick is rolling with the stash on Thursday Night Football, at least in the early projections that he has Minshew. It does look like he is going to bench Carson Wentz for the week, not playing very well at the moment. But the Dolphins' defense is not very good, and you might as well roll with a couple of Jaguars on Thursday Night Football, Minshew and James Robinson.
Speaking of not very good, that Eagles team, man, is atrocious.
No.
I would rather have Danny Dimes than Carson Wentz right now. I know that's another hot take, but in terms of confidence, I don't think Carson has any right now.
Rest of the season, I might take Danny Dimes.
In fantasy, at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wentz is a better football player. I mean,
absolutely. His head's not there.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to their offensive line is just garbage right now. I mean, when you're playing the Rams last week, you have Aaron Donald line up over the center, and Aaron Donald's in your face every single time. Like Wentz is probably having nightmares of Aaron Donald.
Absolutely. Now, Wentz is gun shy. I'll give you an example of what gun shy means. So today, after months and months and months and months, last night I finally fixed my motorcycle. I take it down the block. We forgot to put the brake on properly on the rear tire. Tire locks up. Get into a dead stop. I just kind of wiggle the bike into a stop without getting dumped. So today, go back to the drawing board, take the tire off, put the brake on properly. Second I get out of my driveway, I have a hard time going over 25 miles per hour because I, like Carson Wentz, was gun shy. That's
a good one.
You're welcome.
That's a good one.
You're welcome. All right, Zach, we're going to play a fun little game. We're going to talk about quarterbacks going forward for the rest of the season. Zach has a handy little tool here, which involves rankings for quarterbacks for the rest of the season. We're going to argue the thoughts here.
You see it?
Yeah. Where does this come from?
You see my mouse right here?
Yep. Brought to you by 4 for 4?
4 for 4 football.
All right. Let's start at the bottom.
Very bottom?
Very bottom.
Taysom Hill. Or you want to go 32?
Yeah. Do you think Tyrod Taylor, Justin Herbert will score more points going forward?
I don't know. That's just, I don't want any part of that bet.
The way Herbert looked, I'll take Herbert.
I think Herbert will eventually get it. I think what they did say, the key word is if Tyrod Taylor's healthy, he's our starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, obviously this came out before Drew Lock. I think this was like before Lock. But
another injury to speak on. Drew Lock will be out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think that affects Fant at all. However, I think it does affect Cortland Sutton, even though Cortland's also hurt.
Cortland is out the rest of the year.
What?
Blew his knee. I told you that.
All right, going back to the beginning of the
ACL.
Wow, that comes out of nowhere.
I told you in the notes and news.
I guess we're going back to the beginning when I said it. You weren't listening to me. That was
well. I said he was coming back from his shoulder injury, but then left the game with a knee injury, and the report was he blew his knee. He's on IR.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Sorry for those of you who actually caught that at the beginning of the podcast. Good for you. I'm obviously terrible at this. All right. So what do you think that means for KJ Hamlin?
A little bit of an uptick, but would I be rushing to go get him? No, maybe bench stash if you have him, but
right. Is it a Deshaun? Is it going to be Deshaun, or is it just going to be Noah Fant? Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, Judy.
Judy's going to get a big
uptick.
Would not surprise me if Melvin Gordon gets more looks.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zach. How do we want to play this quarterback game?
I don't know.
What do you think a good guideline for this would be? Do you want to go player by player and be like, all right, Do you think this is better than this or this is better than this? Or
I don't know. I guess we should have talked about that before.
yeah, let's live do this. I mean,
All
we
right.
didn't talk about it
So
before.
let's
So.
start with they have the top, the number one quarterback. So this is rest of season rankings.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, number one quarterback.
I say no.
I say no as well. I say Patrick Mahomes is going to be the number one quarterback, or Russell Wilson.
However, the top 6, no matter the order, are going to be the top 6. Yes. We're talking.
I could see Josh Allen falling out of the top 6 just because they're going to get some tougher matchups. Like they played the Jets and the Dolphins. Like you get
All right. I see. You're of the mind of fucking show me with a real team.
I mean, I like obviously like he's progressed from year 1 to year 2, and even from year 2 just to these first 2 games, like he's been unbelievable. But I would take Kyler Murray rest of the season over Josh Allen. Like,
it's close for me.
I
want to see him do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again, Josh.
Then we got Matt Ryan at 7. I think that's fine. They're going to be passing all over the field.
All right. Do you like Deshaun or Matty Ice for the rest of the year?
Matty Ice.
I agree. Deshaun or Cam? Deshaun.
That one's close, but I think
Rodgers or Cam? I think I
would take Rodgers over Watson.
Eye on it. Oh, really?
Like I think
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I go Ryan, Rodgers, Watson, Cam.
I don't know about this Tannehill. They have Tannehill 11 rest of the season.
Well, he just went off.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again. Do it again.
I would take Ben over Tannehill. Not being homerish, but Ben's look good.
You know what's weird about this list right now? It is like from a couple years ago, all right? We have the top 6
the young
who
guy.
are above and beyond everyone else, right?
Yep.
Then we have 7 through 10 that are below them but still good. And then it's everyone else.
Yeah.
Literally, it doesn't matter if you have Tannehill or Derek Carr. It doesn't matter.
You're just streaming to get those 18 to 20.
That's right. So basically, if you don't have Rodgers, Newton, Watson, Ryan, Murray, Allen, Prescott, Wilson, Mahomes, Jackson, stream your quarterback.
I say after those top 10.
No one else matters.
That's
if you don't have one of those top 10, stream it.
I have Matthew Stafford, so he's at 13. I'm comfortable with Stafford in the right matchups.
Sure. The most boring. Just don't watch the game. That team is boring.
Well, I'm hoping Galladay coming back is going to help him out.
Well, hopefully it'll help Marvin Jones a bit too.
That will too. I guess we didn't really know where we're going with this segment, but
no.
I think it'd definitely be a lot more interesting to see like the receivers are a lot more interesting.
You know what? You know what's fun? Let's do what we did first episode. Pick a quarterback 11 through 32 that is going to be top 12 lock.
Oh, lock? Ooh.
Yes.
So
yes. You pick one and I pick one. Also, whoever you pick, I'll let you go first. This will count towards our hair bet.
And if they're both out, it's a push.
Yeah.
And if they're both in, it's a push.
Well, it's both. We both get 1 point if they're both in. It's 1 or 0. 1, 0, 1 or 0. If you get it right, you get a point towards our hair bet. And if you get it wrong, it's 0. Let's do it. You get to pick first unless you want me to.
Outside the top 11?
Out 11 through 32, who is going to be a top 12 quarterback? Wow, this is really hard.
I almost want to bail out and take the easy answer.
I think I'm going to send a very crazy take.
I really want to take somebody, but I don't want to lose a point.
You're not losing a point. You just get 0.
Yeah, well, it's a negative, like minus.
Oh, we should do an update on the board.
Yeah, I got to pull down.
All right.
I'm going. So when we do these bets, is it total points? Is it points per game? Is it
It's total points?
total points? It doesn't matter.
Top 12 quarterback total points.
What if they miss games?
Doesn't matter.
Well, then they're not going to be in the top 12 total points.
Correct. You got to get. There's some element of luck to this.
Yeah, well, that's if they get
points per game. What if Jared Dyson throws for 12 touchdowns in one game? That's not even a real name, is it?
No.
All right.
It sounds like a baseball player.
Yeah, probably. Jared Dyson? I feel like that's a real person.
I think it is.
I just don't know what sport he plays.
I think it's baseball.
Probably. Yeah, what if Byron Buxton throws for 12 touchdowns in one game? Then he's got the points per game. You lose. Yeah, no. We're going total points.
All right.
Take a shot. Get out on a limb.
To finish top 12.
Top 12. Who's your guarantee? I already got my guy. You ain't picking him, and it's bold.
And I know who you're going to take. It's the guy I want to take, but I don't think I can do it.
It's bold. I got this guy. I don't think it's the same one.
Well, I know I want to say him, but
all right, you ready? Do you want me to just go? I got conviction.
I
got cojones.
Well, so do I. But
Magnifico cojones. Funny enough, a baseball team interviewed. Oh man,
it's Ben Roethlisberger, by the way.
That's not who I was taking.
Well, I know, but that's my safe bet.
Is that who you're taking?
I'm taking Ben Roethlisberger.
You're locking it in?
Lock it in.
Survey says. You still had your 50-50, but you didn't use it. Let's see. Who wants to be a millionaire? All right, you're taking Big Ben Roethlisberger. Are you ready?
Can I guess who you're going to take?
It kind of ruins it.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
I believe that Joe fucking Burrow will be a top 12 quarterback, like the only rookie to do that in my recent memory.
All right.
Have you watched his games?
Yeah, but he threw it 61 times.
He looks nasty.
I thought you were going to take Minshew.
Nope. Give me Joe Burrow, top 12 quarterback.
Okay.
Put it on the board.
Yeah.
Can you pull up the board, by the way? Let's get an update.
Can you? Oh, that's mine.
Yeah. Let me look at this bad boy. So
my screen still?
Yeah. Mark it down. I'm taking Joe Burrow, top 12 quarterback. If he's not picked up right now, pick his ass up. I got Dak. I don't got to worry about it this year. Normally, in any other year, I would definitely be worrying about quarterback. I'll be honest, Zach. My draft strategy has caused me a lot less headache because I got Kelsey and I got Dak, which means I don't have to think about shit at all.
All right.
I just plug and play.
Board bets. One board bet.
Ooh.
Alan, I have Adam Thielen is not a top 12 receiver, and you do. So that's going to be – one of us is going to be right.
Where's he sitting at right now? Can we get some live updates? Where's he sitting at right now?
He is sitting I believe he's at like 5. But he had the big week 1 game.
Oh, yeah.
Players, he is sitting at 10. He's at 10.
Wow. Okay.
Russell Gage.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight.
Russell Gage is wide receiver 11, by the way.
That's insane. It's only week 2.
I know.
Overreaction Sunday.
So that one is one of us will win that.
What else we got?
You have either Godwin or Evans catching over 12.5 touchdowns.
What are they on pace for right now? Do they have any? Evans scored 1 last week.
1, and that's it.
Really?
Evans has 1.
The injury bug, man.
They've each missed a game. Wait, no, Evans has 2. He caught 1 last week.
Yeah.
And Godwin, I believe, has none.
I also believe he has none, but let's see.
He has none.
None. 6 for 79. All right.
So
what else we got?
I have Alan Lazard as a top 40 receiver, and you have MVS as the top 40 receiver. That might
Where's
be
he at?
those both might be a push. I mean, I think they're both right. They're both in the top 40 right now.
I thought I said Lazard would not be, and you said, yeah, hell yeah, he would.
No, you took MVS, I took Lazard. That's why I took the bet.
Okay, for top
4.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah, because it's likely both are going to be a push. Although MVS is doing very good right now.
so is Lazard.
Go to this. Scroll down. See if you can't see them.
Okay, Devontae Adams is wide
And
receiver.
if you can't
3.
see them,
Their
Of
MVS
course.
is 24 right now.
oh, that was probably
And-
really loud. Sorry, guys.
And Lazard is 28. So
All right, it's close.
they're both in
So
there.
if they're both 40,
It's a push.
we push.
Well, I mean, if we both win, it's
So-
a push. It doesn't matter anyway.
If both of them are not 40,
It's a
it's a
push. We both.
If both of them are 40, it's a push. If one of them's 40 and one of them's not,
It's a win.
the other person gets a point.
Yes.
Okay. Where else are we at on our board bets?
That is it, and then the one we just made.
All right.
So you have Burrow.
Are we doing our top 12 and our top 12 locks and all that? Does that
No,
count?
no. That's just what we talked
No,
about.
I agree. I don't think that should count. I think that was our bold predictions. All right. I love it. This is fun.
All right. There we go.
I love it.
Is that
Bold prediction.
That's total points
Joe
this year.
Burrow. What's up?
That's for the rest of the season, right? Or
That's right, total
points
points.
overall.
Yep.
So
total
where are
points.
they at overall? We want to check that out.
Yeah, sure. I bet you Burrow's not there, but
Burrow is ahead of
Who's the
Ben
12th?
by half a point. Burrow,
it's going to be close.
Burrow's 12, Ben's 13.
Yeah.
But it's
2
close.
weeks, folks.
Through
2 weeks, folks.
Burrow does have the rushing floor that's going to help him.
Agreed. And he looks nasty, man.
But Gardner Minshew's also quarterback 11.
If Gardner didn't have those 2 picks, he would have an additional 4 points, which would make him better than Mahomes on the year.
You know who's leading the league in passing?
Josh
Allen.
729 yards.
729.
0 interceptions for the man that we didn't think could actually throw it.
Russell's got 9 touchdowns, though.
That's insane.
But
Wow.
needless to say, we'll tack on another board bet, and we're good to
That's
go.
right. And I think we should take this last swallow of our alcoholic beverages and wrap this bad boy up. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, folks. This has been the 3rd installment of the 2nd season of Gem City Gridiron Roundup Podcast. I am your Deputy Commissioner Scotch on the sidelines, Dalton Van Pelt.
And I am your beloved commissioner, hopefully beloved commissioner, Zach Stewart.
And with that, we'll talk to you guys next week. Enjoy these tunes. All right.
Looks like I got to try to – I can't – how do I get out of this?
How do you get out of what?
The share screen. I have no idea. We're still on
It's down at the bottom. The share screen button. Alt-S.
Alt-S.
Mhm.
Well, I can't.
It's,
I have no idea, man. Like, I can't get out of the damn thing.
well, it's fine. We're done anyway.
I want to be able to. I can't get out of it, is what I'm saying.
At the bottom, if you hover
Well,
over
I
the
can't.
bottom.
It's just it's on the shared screen. I can't. Oh, I see. Oh, it's on my. I have 2 monitors. That's why. Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
there you go.
It was on my other monitor.
Oh, okay.